Belarus. Now I would like to give the floor to representative of Russian Federation.
Господин председатель, признательны.
Mr. President, we are grateful to the President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam for convening this meeting, and we would like to thank the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and the former UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon for their detailed briefings. UN cooperation with regional and sub-regional organizations is an integral part of the current Security Council agenda. And we advocate the development of such an interaction on the basis of the UN Charter, first and foremost, Chapter 11, according to which the work of regional associations should be conducted in line with the purposes and objectives of the foundational international document. It is difficult to imagine crisis situations being resolved without the participation of regional and sub-regional organizations, such as, for example, the African Union, the Association of Southeast Asian States, the League of Arab States, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Collective Security Treaty Organization, the Commonwealth of Independent States, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. It is our view that these bodies are called upon to complement UN efforts in their area of responsibility and within their mandate. In the majority of cases, they are better acquainted with the situation on the ground and should play a key role in defining the ways out of the conflict. And we would like to underscore that the priority in dispute settlement should be given over to peaceful means, and coercive measures is something for which proper authority should be obtained from the UN Security Council. Mr. President, take into account the fact that more than half of the issues on the Security Council agenda are about Africa. We think it would be very natural to further combine the efforts of UN and the African Union. We therefore welcome the document which was passed in April 2017. It was a framework document on strengthening the partnership between the two organizations in the area of peace and security. We also welcome the yearly consultations between the UN Security Council and the African Union Peace and Security Council, which take place in turn in Addis Ababa and New York. We fully support the approach of providing African solutions to African issues. In particular, we note the mediation efforts made by the African Union and IGAD in stabilizing the internal political situation in the Republic of South Sudan. And we welcome the successful conclusion of the joint operation between the UN and African Union in Darfur. And we follow very closely the work in Somalia being conducted by the African peacekeeping AMISOM operation, where they work in extraordinarily harsh conditions. And of course, we do support the joint force of Sahel G5 as they combat the terrorist threat in the Sahara and Sahel. Mr. President, we highly value the cooperation between the UN and ASEAN. We welcome the efforts made by Vietnam, including their capacity as elected member of the Security Council to move such an interaction with the Council further. We consider the association as one of the more successful integration associations and as an important factor in ensuring peace and stability in Asia and the Pacific. And we are in favor of strengthening the central role played by the 10 in regional affairs. In this regard, we note that the ASEAN is preparing for conducting an extraordinary summit, and we do hope that tangible results will come out of it. We'll see that there is a great deal of potential for an interaction between ASEAN and SCO within the UN. Given both of their organizations deal with very similar issues on ensuring security and sustainable development in Asia, we think, therefore, that it's important to deepen their dialogue and the level of practical cooperation. It would be fitting to consider the possibility of conducting on the UN platform of a special high-level meeting for the ASEAN SCO meeting on security issues. Furthermore, we would like to separately give a very positive assessment of the current level of partnership between the UN and SCO. And we expect that there will be further broadening of multifaceted links between the organizations, that the tradition of the UN leadership participation in SCO activities will continue. Mr. President, we also have a positive view of the interaction of the countries and members of the Collective Security Treaty Organization at the UN. We have always spoken in favor of increasing the cooperation with CSTO and peacekeeping track, and we stand ready to continue creating conditions for practically involving CSTO in UN peacekeeping operations. Furthermore, we note the importance of a CSTO interaction with regional organizations and entities on the basis of principles of non-interference of internal affairs, rejecting confrontation and conflicts, and resolving international disputes peaceably. We attach a great deal of attention to strengthening a constructive cooperation between the UN and the Commonwealth of Independent States. The activity of this organization is called upon to further continue decision-making internationally, and this shows our joint commitment to the purposes and principles of the UN Charter. The Russian Federation has been speaking consistently for strengthening cooperation between UN and OSCE on the basis of Chapter 8 of the Charter, and this declaration made by the OSCE Permanent Council about cooperation with the UN made in 2006. This organization has very challenging tasks in front of it in such areas as settling the internal Ukrainian conflict, help with the resolution of the Nagorno-Karabakh issue, providing new impetus to the 5+2 format negotiations in Transnistria, and many others. And we do hope that the OSCE will continue being an honest broker. What was heard at the beginning of the conference are the inappropriate remarks, namely by the Estonian colleagues, the main Russophobe in the EU. Well, these comments we will just not respond to. But in conclusion, we'd like to emphasize that the Russian Federation has been consistently advocating full cooperation with the regional organizations throughout the world, and we are of the view that they can and should play a noticeable role in making multilateralism a foundation of international relations, and in developing a truly equal and partner relations amongst countries. Thank you, Mr. President.
The representative from the Russian Federation for your remark and kind words for Vietnam. As one of the founding members of the UN and regional organizations, the Russian Federation plays an important role in strengthening relationship between the UN and regional organizations in preventing conflict and resolution. Vietnam wishes to maintain its traditional friendship and strategic comprehensive partnership with the Russian Federation. I would like to call